I stumbled upon a sealed movie at a thrift store, and it very much intrigued me. The Hidden Dimension. I don't know anything about it, I haven't looked it up or anything, so I figured I would do an unboxing here and do a blind watch, and we'll see whether or not it will make an interesting subject for a video. Here's my proof I bought it at a thrift store, a Goodwill to be precise. It kinda looks like something you would watch in 3rd grade on a field trip to a science museum, and honestly I'm down for that. I hope still sealed copies aren't worth $1,000 or anything, cause, as I said, I have not even looked this movie up, and I'm digging into it with my legally ambiguous gas station knife. It says here something about a bonus program called Echoes of the Sun, which we might have to check out as well. I'm so glad to know the anti-theft security system, otherwise known as tape, is working so well that it's taking me 5 minutes to open up a DVD. It's general knowledge how popular the Hidden Dimension is among thieves. Alright, here we go. Oh. Oh look, there's more tape. Well, now we've seen the inside for the first time together. Enough talk, let's watch this puppy. The film starts with a voiceover conversation between a grandfather, voiced by James Garner, and granddaughter, told through letters they write back and forth to each other. This accompanies the entire film, with mostly the grandpa yapping and the granddaughter responding every now and then. The granddaughter and her parents visit their grandpa's home while he's in Mongolia. She's sad he's not there since they usually spend the time at the cabin together and seem very close, and she expresses this in her letter. Her grandpa, in response, sets up a bit of a treasure hunt, tasking her to find a key to open a book, which she finds seemingly by chance in a toy duck in the fridge.
What's the duck doing in the fridge?
She opens the book and it has a pop-up of the grandpa's house. Cool, I guess. The next day, she's able to find the second key by following light dispersion and seeing it on an indoor tree. What the flip? Who left this here? No, seriously, who left this here? Next, she goes to the basement again, seemingly by chance, as we don't hear or see any clues that bring her there. In the basement, she looks at a bunch of her grandpa's things, including some animals. I particularly liked this shot where there's a chameleon and a mantis that both blend into their surroundings. They spend a lot of time here looking at stuff with swelling music and the voiceover from the grandpa talking about how amazing things are. How amazing your eyes are, as we see her flip through anatomy illustrations of eyes. How amazing bugs are, as she flips through the pop-up book showing neat bugs. We see a close-up of a bug in what I would describe as the first IMAX shot of the film, then more close-ups of other random crap like salt, as he tells us we put rocks on our food, and other stuff like tea leaves. It's all supposed to point to and make us say how amazing and interesting and beautiful our world is. And sure, fair enough, I agree. And this would be a neat little video to watch if I was 6 visiting Science World, but honestly it doesn't justify its 40-minute runtime. For what it's doing with the IMAX angle and the visuals, you don't even need the plot with the girl and the grandpa. Just show us these close-ups with the voiceover. There's also a subplot with the dad being a workaholic, and they cut back to the parents every now and then doing whatever, and it leads absolutely nowhere, so it's barely worth mentioning. Her grandpa tells her to look into the forest, and next, she looks at a machine in the living room that has pictures of the forest. Look into the forest. Get it?
Into the forest.
What are you doing? You're not the thinker!
She finds the last key in the forest where the picture was taken and can't figure out where to use it. Her mom figures it out by opening the key up and looking at something they don't show, revealing that it's the island. Ah yes, the island at the cabin lake house. How relatable. Literally, what are these rich person activities? An island at your lake house? I can't even afford DoorDash.
Okay. Yeah, it's still hot for you. Here you go.
She goes to the island and sees an observatory that her grandpa says looks inward instead of outward, and she calls over her parents to look into the microscope. Also, the building is moving. I don't know if it's meant to be physically moving or if it's just supposed to be an effect. This is where it gets much more interesting, but also indulgent. The VO gets cray-cray, and we see some pretty cool, interesting shots that remind us this was filmed on the greatest piece of filmmaking equipment ever created. IMAX was created in Canada, by the way, gotta put that in there. Also, this was filmed in Canada, apparently St. John, New Brunswick, where I lived and went to high school. Don't believe me? Here's my New Brunswick health card. That's real, by the way. This is a real health card. But this part's pretty cool. A lot of cool shots and some pretty good complimentary voiceover. But I unfortunately must say that a lot of the effect is lost watching this in 480p on a TV capable of producing almost 5 times the image quality. I just don't really know the purpose of releasing this for home video back when even the best TVs couldn't possibly produce anything somewhat comparable to IMAX quality. And when that scale is really the only selling point here for just a number of these shots, it makes you wonder what they were thinking releasing it on DVD at all. I think there were probably other IMAX films they released, such as nature documentaries, that are much more interesting to watch at home just for the subject matter alone, and this one just happened to slip through, because why not? Next, her mom gives her her grandpa's watch, and this piece of voiceover is pretty encapsulating of what the themes of the film are, so I'll just play it here.
That's Grandpa's watch.
I have asked your mother to give you this watch, which I got in 1934 on a trip through Europe. I want you to have it because a watch is a symbol of the way creation works. Everything fits together. Everything depends on everything else. The same way the watch depends on you. You have to keep it going.
She walks outside and they all look at the sunset, as she says her dad shut off the fax machine and is being more present. So that has a payoff, I guess. And then she tells her grandpa, who she reiterates is off in Mongolia, because that's very important to the story, that he needs to come home now because she made him something that he'll find in the hidden dimension, which I guess is just the microscopic world, and that he won't need a key to find it. I don't know what that means, I swear, I don't. I don't know what she made him. Some kind of collage? I don't know. There's definitely tape involved, that's all I know. And then we fade to black from a lovely New Brunswick sunset.
I've made something for you. You'll find it somewhere in, you know, the hidden dimension. But I promise you won't need a key.
I wonder how this movie's music's back is feeling from carrying this whole movie. This whole short film is just a showcase for the medium of IMAX, and not a good one at that. And not just because I'm watching it on a 20-year-old DVD, but because there's no scale here. It's just a cabin with a girl walking around looking at her grandpa's junk. What's so special here that it justifies the use of $1 million camera? Okay, you want to know the real reason I'm salty is because look at this cover, right? And tell me this isn't a movie where she gets shrunken down to discover the wonders of the hidden dimension. What is this misleading cover? It got me very hyped up to see a Magic School Bus-esque video where she goes into her dog's body or something. Disappointed. After watching this movie, I was looking up as much as I could about it, and really couldn't find much info. On Stinky Potatoes, the synopsis says the home is enchanted. No, not really, though I guess the themes of the film wants to make you think everything is a sort of magic. They compare it to Alice in Wonderland, which, no. If anything, my thoughts were bringing me back to Arthur and the Invisibles a little bit, which I haven't even seen since I was 7 probably, but aesthetically this is similar, and I remember something about the main character's grandpa setting up clues for him to discover. Rotten Tomatoes also calls this a documentary though, so what does it know? Okay, well that was The Hidden Dimension. This video is probably gonna suck, but I was already $2.30 into it, so I had to make something to recoup costs. I'm just kidding. I don't make any money. Okay, bye!